guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this Cinnamoroll set on some XXL square tips. To start off, I'm going to be prepping the nails, and of course I'm going to be wearing a mask. I'll be buffing the surface using an E-file from Melody Susie. I'm also using the mandrel bit fitted with the number 180 sanding band. As always, you guys, everything that I use will be linked in the description box below. To clean up the mess, I'm going to be using this nail dust collector I got off of Amazon. This is a necessity if you do nails at home, just because you don't want to be inhaling all the acrylics and all the plastics that come off of these nails. So yeah, I really recommend getting one of these. I think this was like 26 bucks, but I'll link mine below. And now I'm using a big fluffy brush just to dust off any particles, so that when we put on the gel, it's nice and clean. This I think was like a wet bronzer brush that was still in the packaging. I totally forgot about it and I found it like 2 years ago. But yeah, you can use any brush that you'd like. And then before turning off your nail dust collector, you're gonna go ahead and give it a quick brush. Besides buffing the surface, I also like to cut down the tips a little bit and give it a little pre-shaping with the nail file, just so that everything looks nice, crisp, and clean. Now before we start, please ignore this area. I dropped a whole bunch of nail glue and I was trying to clean it with alcohol, so that's why it looks weird. But anyways, this is what it looks like before we start painting, and I'll be going in with one layer of base coat from Beetles. By the way guys, we are so close to hitting 200 subscribers on this channel. Thank you guys so much, and if you aren't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe if you like the content that I make. If you guys are interested in buying any sets from me, I do have an Etsy shop, an Instagram, and a website. They're all linked below. And yeah, alright, let's get back to the video. Now I'm going in with one layer of this nude sheer base. This is B071 from Beetles, and this is my all-time favorite, you guys. I say this in every video, but I feel like this is a necessity to have in your nail collection, especially if you do French tips. Just like look at it, it's just so freaking pretty, guys. And I'll be applying this to the thumbs, the pointer, and the pinky nails. This will be our base for a French tip. This is one layer of that nude, and it looks a little sheer still, so I'm going to go in with another nude. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce this brand. Is it Kawaii or Guy? Whatever. This is 1301, and this is actually a little more sheer than the last nude, but I feel like it gives it more of a pinky color. This polish is so incredibly smooth. I feel like it's like satisfying to just paint it on. Usually you don't get gels like this, so this is like the perfect consistency. And this is what it looks like after 2 layers of those 2 different bases. Before we paint on the French tips, I am going to go over the nude nails with a lint-free wipe that has some alcohol in it. This will make it so that when I buff the surface, the buffer isn't like sticking onto the nails and like leave some icky residue. And now I'm just going in with a nail buffing block just to buff off the surface. I find that doing both of these things will help create a smooth surface to paint on. I feel like it's just easier to draw on French tips this way. I find myself not using a cleanup brush as much just to make up any mistakes because, you know, the French tip is very clean. And make sure to dust off or brush off any nail dust just so that it doesn't get into our gel. And now I'm taking this nail resin palette and just cleaning off the surface with some Isopropanol. The blue gel polish that we're using is 1587 from Kawaii. This is the same brand as the nude, and this is a really cute sky blue shade. And I'm using this long, thin striping brush from Beetles to paint on the French tips. If this isn't your first video, you guys know that I love to freehand my French tips. I just go ahead and create this triangle on both sides and then connect them using a curved line. I like to take my time when I'm doing French tips just because I like to keep things nice and even. I like to make sure it looks good. I just hate seeing uneven French tips where like one nail will be really wide and then the other nail will just be like super thin and like almondy. I don't know. I like things looking perfect as they like possibly can. The French tip came out so clean and I didn't even need to use a cleanup brush. When you're painting French tips, you want to make sure that you check periodically like between both hands. Like if, for instance, if you paint one side, like you paint the left hand, you want to make sure the right hand, all the French tips are the same length and the same width. What I like to do is I just like pick them up, hold them side by side to see if they look the same. Now that we're finally done with the hardest part, the French tips, we're gonna go in and create our 3D clear designs. I'll be using this rhinestone gel from Beetles. I actually got this in a set with, I think it was AB and clear rhinestones, and this came in with it. This is not a non-wipe situation, so I will be using top coat over it. To apply this gel, I'm going to be using this striping tool from Beetles. This is a little shorter than the one that we use for the French tips. So for the design, I am drawing some diagonal lines that are a little curvy, and I'll be drawing 3 to 4 lines. Now there isn't a need to be buying 2 separate nail gels. I just have this because of a set and I'm using this just because I haven't used it before, but you can also use the same gel glue that you use for your charms just to paint on these lines. In fact, that one doesn't require top coat on top just because it is a non-wipe gel. Now whenever you're using a gel like that's this consistency to make 3D designs, you do want to work pretty fast just because the gel will eventually start to like spread out and it's going to look very messy. After curing, I'm going to go in with this sparkly silver glitter. I'm trying out this new brand. It's called Double Rhythm and it's available on Amazon. Since this glitter gel is a little dense with the glitters, I'm going to go ahead and go in with one layer using a light hand. The silver glitter will give the nails a bit of dimension as well as pair perfectly with the sky blue. And I ended up only applying one layer for the middle and the ring fingers. I find that this brand has like really pretty bottles, but the shades are kind of hit or miss. I bought like a sagey green a couple months ago, and the thing is like the opacity was very light and it had a very thin consistency, which isn't great when you're trying to do French tips. Now for the little accents on the French tips, I'm going in with this cobalt blue, and I'm also using the same striping brush as earlier with the French tips. Basically, I'm just going to be making like cyber sigilism type of details. Basically, you're going to draw 2 curvy lines and then connect them somewhere in the center, and then just go from there, just play around with it. Some people like to draw like little crosses. Honestly, I just kind of feel like they're random lines, but you can't really go wrong with it. Cyber sigilism has been really in lately, especially with tattoos and nails. I honestly really want to get a tattoo kind of like this. I feel like it's really cute, especially with all those little intricate details and lines, and I really like how you can incorporate other details like hearts, butterflies, dragons, koi fish, anything like that. I feel like it's just really cute. The two things that are stopping me from getting the tattoo is honestly money and if I'm gonna regret it. Let me know, you guys, if you have a tattoo, what did you get, and like, was it like a sleeve or whatever, and do you regret it? Because I really want to get one so bad, but I don't know if I should. I'm also going to go in with a couple of dots using this dotting tool, and I'm only going to be placing it on one side of the detail. Now that we're finally done with the nail art, we're going to go in with some charms. And I'm using my trusty Macart rhinestone glue. And you guys will soon notice that there was a leak in the bottle. What the heck? Oh my god, it's leaking. For charms, I'm going to be using the Cinnamoroll charms that came in a set of like other Sanrio characters, including Pom Pom Purin, Pochako, Hello Kitty, My Melody, all that. That's of course linked in the description box. And I'm just using a wax pen just to pick them up. Of course it just had to fall, but I'm adding one charm to each pointer finger. You guys, today just wasn't my day. Like, what was this? Why? Just why? Now for the 3D nails, I'm going to be going in with the heart charms. I'm going to be using both blue and white, and I'll be using the bigger size for the blue one and then the smaller size for the white one. And honestly, the color doesn't really pop out with the white one since we did have a clear and silver background. But overall, it looks cute, you know, like it looks like kawaii junk nails. Just what we're going for. Now it did still feel a little empty, so I'm going to go in with some clear rhinestones. I'm using various sizes and I'm just creating clusters near the hearts. And then the Cinnamoroll nail just felt a little empty, so I added this little blue star. I was just going through my entire collection just to see if I had anything that like I never used before or just really wanted to get rid of because it was taking a lot of space. Kawaii junk nails is literally the name. Like, you can just put a whole bunch of random charms and it'll look cute. Especially if you're trying to get rid of some charms that you just like never used before. This type of style is great for that. And then I also added some silver pearls in the clusters with the rhinestones, and this is what it looks like before top coat. I like to use the Beetles top coat just because it's affordable and it gives a nice glossy finish. You want to make sure you top coat everything, including the charms and rhinestones. Now if they were like larger rhinestones, I wouldn't be top coating them, but since they're tiny, I like to top coat them just to keep them nice and secure. For clear nails, I like to flip the back and then paint half of it with top coat just so that when you wear the nails out, it stays nice and clear. If you don't do this, it'll end up looking very cloudy on the back when you wear them out. This is what it looks like after top coat. I do end up filing the tips just a bit just to keep it nice and crisp. And that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to be making this available on my Etsy very soon, as well as my website. I'm still debating whether or not these should be part of the May sets of the month, since I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to make the whole entire collection. Other than that, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And of course, you guys, please hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 200. Leave a like and comment on what you want to see next. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!